If you are feeling overwhelmed in business, like you're doing everything by yourself and you're not quite sure what to focus on, this episode is going to be perfect for you. I'm going to tell you how to decide what you need to prioritize in your business so you can stop being burnt out and overwhelmed. Take a listen on YouTube or Apple Podcasts right now. Welcome back to another episode of Work Hard, Live Soft, where I teach you how to build a business that gives you the freedom to live a life that you love. This episode is really important because I see a lot of entrepreneurs who are burnt out from overworking. And so if you've ever wondered, like, what should I be prioritizing my business? Because I feel like I'm the graphic designer and the copywriter and the marketer and the content creator and the web designer, all of the things. Let's talk about what you should actually be prioritizing in your business so you don't feel like you need to be doing everything all at once. So if you are a solopreneur and you're not yet in a space where you can delegate or hire out, the first thing I will say is that you should start considering where you might need a little bit support so you can at least start getting some prices and figure out how you can budget for support. But before you even get to that point, you need to figure out what is the most important thing that I need to be focused on in my business, and consider that there are different stages or different phases of where you are in your business. If you are in the early stages and you don't have any clients, any customers, barely any followers, or an email list, you are in the stage where you need to focus on building your brand. And building your brand really looks like understanding what you want for your business. What do you want to sell? Who do you want to work with? How do you want to be known? How do you want to be seen online? And creating content and a message to build trust in your industry. So before you even think about the administrative part and doing photo shoots and sales and putting together your courses or putting together your products and your services, you need to think about, how can I get in front of enough people where I can test out my theory, test out my messaging, test out what I potentially want to sell by getting feedback from my audience. You are in a season where you need to get in front of enough people so you can do market research. So what I would recommend in this season is really mastering your content creation, really mastering how you are communicating your brand values and your brand message out into the world. So you want to pick 1 to 3 platforms that you are going to be consistent in and get in front of other people. If you are not sure what type of content to create, my advice to you is think about, if you were having a conversation with your ideal client, you're thinking about the dream client that you would love to hire you for your expertise, what would be 5 to 7 questions that they would ask you? What are some of the things that they are struggling with right now that you could solve for them if you just had 1 hour with them answering all of their questions? I want you to think about, if somebody had access to me to be able to pick my brain, 1, what questions would they ask me? And 2, how would I respond? Your content is just a conversation between you and the people that you want buying from you. Start creating content that's going to attract your ideal client. So my recommendation is, this is going to be a stage where you are creating a lot of content, posting it on your platforms. And then from there, you want to start paying attention to the content that is creating the most engagement, the content that is getting the most likes, the content that's getting the most shares, and then pay attention to the consistent message or the consistent thread with this content so you know what to create more of. My other recommendation is to prioritize building relationships and collaborations with people in your industry so you can get in front of more people. One of the fastest ways that I've built my brand is building relationships and collaborating with people. And this was back when blogging was really big. So I used to guest blog posts on a lot of people's podcasts, or I would do guest webinars with people. I would go on their social media and do a social media takeover. So you want to find different ways that you can get in front of other people's audience, so that way you're not relying on your own small audience until you consistently grow yours. But the number one thing you need to be focused on is getting your message out there and making sure that your message is consistent and it's in alignment with what you want to be known for, because that is how the algorithm is working. If you ever go on Instagram or you ever go on TikTok, you'll see that you have a For You page. And on this For You page, this is where you will see content that is crafted for you. You are going to see content that's in alignment with what you're engaging with, what you're commenting on, what you are liking. And the same thing goes for your Instagram. On your discovery page, you are going to see content that's in alignment with what you're liking, what you are engaging with. And so if you are really clear and consistent about your message, people who are uniquely looking for the solution that you have to offer based on your expertise will start to see your content. This is how you can start to attract your ideal clients and customers. Now, once you have spent the time building your brand, you've grown your audience, you're starting to get engagement, people are now starting to become a little bit familiar with you. What you need to do now is start focusing on your marketing, meaning you need to start working on generating leads. Okay. When I say generating leads, what I mean is you need to start getting people booking calls with you or getting on your email list. This is an indicator that they are familiar enough with your brand that they want to hear more from you. They want to hear about your products and your services. Now that you have built trust and people are, referring your page or reposting things on your stories, you have to think, what is the next step? All of this just comes down to marketing, right? Thinking about a funnel. What is the logical next step that you want to take people through? So you want to focus on marketing. So my recommendation to my clients is you want to create 1 to 2 resources, free or low ticket, where people can opt in, meaning that they are giving you their name and their email address for a free resource. An example of that would be like my branding checklist. If you go to buildtoimpact.com/BYOB, you will see an example of a free resource that I'm giving away in exchange for an email. People are only going to download this free resource if it's in alignment with a goal that they have. You need to make sure that you are creating this resource based on the desires and the goals of your ideal client. They're also only going to download if they trust the person who is providing that resource, which is why you need to spend time building trust by building your brand and creating relatable content. So let's say you're starting from scratch. Maybe you set a goal and you're like, the only thing I'm going to focus on is creating content until I get 500 followers or 1,000 followers. Then once I get 1,000 followers, I'm going to now set a goal to get 200 people on my email list. Then when I get 200 people on my email list, I'm going to set a goal to create my product and get 20 people on a sales call. You know what to prioritize based on where you are in your business and if you are hitting your own goals and your thresholds. Now, the only time that you should be doing all of these things at once is when you then surpass these goals. But once you get to a place where you're hitting your revenue goal, you need to be budgeting to have somebody else take over these things. So for example, in my business, we've hit goals in terms of followers and engagement. We've hit goals in terms of how many people are on our email list. We've hit goals in terms of how many people we get on a sales call with and how many people are in our program. But I still have to build my brand. I still have to get new people on my email list, but I have the support of other people to help build the brand while I focus on the sales, or help build the brand while I focus on working with the clients. So just be mindful that with every season or phase that you're in your business, you want to hit a very specific goal to measure if things are working or not. Then the other thing I want you to pay attention to is, of course, once you get 200, and this is just an arbitrary number, you want to set a goal that's going to be specific to your brand. But once you get 200 people on your email list, or you get 20 people to book a sales call with you, you want to set a goal of how many clients you get in a month. And keep in mind that you don't want to just move on to the next goal like once you do it once, right? Like let's say you have a goal to get 4 clients in a month. You want to set a goal to get 4 clients in a month for like 4 months in a row before you decide to progress on those goals. You want to measure your level of success and your level of consistency. Now, the other thing that you want to focus on in your business, that you'll need to focus on in all areas once you start getting clients, is client fulfillment or service fulfillment. So if you are a coach, you need to figure out what days of the week that you're going to coach. If you have a coaching program, you need to figure out, okay, I'm going to set aside time on Thursdays to run my coaching calls. If you do one-on-one coaching, you might say, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays are the days that I do coaching calls. One of the other things that's going to help you is categorizing your days so you know how to prioritize your different tasks in your business without feeling overwhelmed. So for me, Monday is admin days, is when I have meetings with my team and I start to look at what we have going on for the week, and I just map everything out so I can take all of the ideas and thoughts in my head and just put it on paper. Tuesdays and Thursdays could be a day for you to do sales calls. Wednesdays and Thursdays could be a day for you to do coaching calls. Friday could be a free day where you just spend creating or coming up with ideas and organizing previous ideas that you've had. So you get to categorize how you want to also spend your days, so you don't have to go from task to task and category to category and easily burn out on a Tuesday when you could simply just focus on doing what you need to do per day. So this is how I would prioritize things in my business if I didn't have a team. This is what I had to do before I had a team. I needed to categorize my days. I needed to make sure I was prioritizing sales after I prioritized marketing and after I had prioritized building my brand and creating trust, and making sure that all throughout I was serving my clients and making sure that my service with them was fulfilled, so I was getting happy clients. So I hope that this has helped you. If you've been feeling all over the place with your business, now you know where to start. Let me know inside of the chat, where are you in your business and what do you need to be focusing on over the next 60 days? Until next time, work hard so you can live soft.